And that's what's going to happen when Christ returns for His church. See, He won't be coming back to die again. He'll be coming to take His children home with Him. And it's those people who I want to talk to right now, those of you who know that you've accepted Christ. Pastor, last year we were in Ohio. As a matter of fact, in the Columbus area. And a pastor told us, he said, I don't want to be carnal. I don't want this to sound carnal. He said, but when I get to heaven, he says, I want to have 1, 2, however many truckloads, semi-truckloads full of crowns and trophies and rewards. He said, and I don't want to have them just to say I have them. He said, because I want to take those and I want to dump them all at the feet of Jesus. He said, because that's the only way I can say thanks for what He's done for me. So there's no other way that I can adequately, and even that is not really adequate, but that's the only way I can say thanks to Christ for what He's done for me. I kind of hope the same thing for my life. Because I can't figure out another way to say thanks for all that Christ has done. And I want to ask you a question. At the end of John, Jesus is walking, and He's talking with Peter. And He says, Peter, I want you to follow me. Do what I want you to do. Peter kind of pulls the same thing that I've done many times, and I would venture to say that probably most of the people in this building have done many times. He kind of did this thing. He said, see, John was kind of walking just a little bit behind him. And he said, what about him? What about him? What about Paula down here? What about Kevin? What about them? And Jesus, in plain English, basically said, it's none of your business what I asked them to do. This is what I've asked you to do. And let's bring it to a personal level. I may be called to do something. The people up here may be called to do something. But as sure as you're sitting here tonight, you are called to do something. To share the Word, to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. Every Christian, you say, I want to know the will of God. You want to start by sharing the gospel with others. You can't go wrong if you do that. You want to talk about the will of God? So my question is, when you leave here tonight, when all is said and done, are these the only people that know you're a Christian, basically? Do your neighbors know? School will be starting back up in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Do the people you go to school with know? Do the people you work with know? Do the people that you stop in, at the gas station, do they know? The people you see on a regular basis. Those who you don't see on a regular basis. Told in a concert at the end of last week, to be honest with you, I'll be flat out honest. I haven't taken every opportunity that God has put in my path. We've had a lot of problems on this trip. And every time we go into a place for help, every time we go looking for numbers, every time we ask people for something, I can't say that I've shared Christ with them. God's put opportunities in my path. And I would say again, as sure as you're sitting there, God has put opportunities in your path. The question is, do you take advantage of them? Or do you just let them pass you by? I told you I'd be honest, I've let a few pass me by this week. And it's not something that I would be proud about, but I just want to be honest with you. Because I don't want to stand up here and ask you to do something hypocritically that I wouldn't do. I just want to ask you, Are you taking advantage of the opportunities God has given you? Or are you just passing by and letting things just kind of slip through your fingers like sand, just falling away? I don't know. I can only answer the question for myself. I can't answer the question for you. I just ask you to think about it.